Hey there, fresh-faced creative in a youthful advertising demographic. Does your reading material have a distinct lack of cultural nourishment for your slowly decaying, malnourished soul? Stop! Put that garbage down. Everyone knows you shouldn't get your news from old mediums like paper. That's 2/8th century. Plug into the information superhighway, loser, and read a zine. It's like a magazine, but without all that dumbass paper. Read Stranger Days, the arts and culture e-zine. It's got music, comedy, art, poetry, tarot cards, cinema, Year Spaceship, comics, podcasts, and Jim Carrey. Read Stranger Days now, because between you, me, and your trusty canine companion, we know fluffy cuddles and e-zines are the only way to push back the existential dread slowly consuming your every waking moment. Hold back the darkness today with Stranger Days. Available now at strangerdays.wordpress.com.
From Your Spaceship Music Collective, this is Six Set Bro, a misguided adventure through the social fringe of the music industry. I'm your host, Don Maple. Welcome everybody to Six Set Bro. I am your host, Don Maple. Glad to see you, glad to hear from you again. Please take part in the live chat. We're live at Six Set Bro Live. I'm joined by my two buddies, like I am every single darn week. Down south, if you're watching on video streaming, and you can see them down there on the YouTubes and the Facebooks and all the old man ways to say social media groups. I feel like that's what I'm doing, where you say it wrong intentionally because you're so above it. You're like, the Facebooks or the YouTubes.
Man, you're cool.
I'm so
You're
above,
so cool.
I'm so above social media that I don't even say it right. I don't even know what they're called. All right? So down south, we got the Hungry Ghost, the one and only, the sensational, trying to think of another delicious word. The delicious, well, that's a good one. The fantastical, mysterious, Money Mike Cash Register.
Hey.
We also got to the this way. West, east. Depends where you're looking from. Depends.
Anybody got a compass?
Depends where your compass is pointing, everybody. And if you're listening on audio, you're super confused. You're like, what? I don't even know what he's talking about. It's the one and only Nandez.ttv, which is what we're going to call him from now on, because that is his Twitch handle. He streams games on Twitch. He's a fucking cool dude, and he always wears hats.
Because I'm a baldy and I can't.
He's hiding something under there. Who knows?
Don't hide.
All of his secrets are under that hat, under that Brooklyn Nets hat. And the Brooklyn Nets just clinched their playoff spot. Who would have thought it, Andy? Who would have thought that could happen? They're a super team. Nobody cares. It's not a basketball podcast. You don't care in the comments. You don't care over there. We'll just get on with the music news. Got a jam-packed show for y'all tonight. We gotta talk about new Kendrick, as the title of this episode would
Potentially.
potential new Kendrick. Maybe it's kind of clickbaity to get you guys in. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but we gotta talk about it.
Yay, all the hip-hop fans are coming back.
Yeah, boy. Billie Eilish, new album coming out. New projects from, like, the Your Spaceship crew. We got a new single from Mike coming up. We got a new EP from me. We'll talk a little bit at the end of the show about that. And we got to talk about the old faithful Northern Ireland executive making us the town from Footloose, pretty much. So yeah,
I've never watched that movie. I don't know what's that reference.
I don't get the reference. What I'll talk about.
He'll run us through it
right now. Let me explain to you why it's funny. Because that makes jokes funnier.
Oh.
Right. So you know what? We'll start with the most pointless news that I have for you. Spotify prices are going up, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Spotify prices are going up £1, £1, everybody." All right. I don't think it's that. I don't think you need to like
They chip
lose
away.
any sleep over it. Personally, inflation and all that. That's business, my
You
friends.
think about it though, £1 to us, how many people probably subscribe
Oh,
to
yeah, it's-
Spotify? It's like,
It is a lot of money to them. But are they? I read something recently.
Damn
is
well
the
know it's not getting anywhere near any of the artists.
Oh no, it's not, because they're using us like the CEO of Spotify is trying to buy like the Arsenal Football Club or something.
nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I seen that somewhere. I think that's true. Somebody can fact check me for that. I have no idea. So, you know what? I'm just gonna close that tabby down because I'm like, what a pointless piece of news. But I felt like people were freaking out way too much on Twitter about Spotify prices increasing across the majority of the world, and I was like, yeah, like the UK and Europe, we're talking what £1 there, fella. Calm down. It's okay. Everything.
But
will be
£1
okay.
out of how many services do people have that also increase their prices could be a tenner.
But I mean, everything increases. This is what I mean. There's inflation. It's like everybody's rate of pay.
Time to
if you
cancel
work in a
one.
Job is gonna go up. Like you'll earn more money because the cost of living will go up until like in 2067. That's not far enough away. But yeah, in the future it'll just be like
Jesus, that's really not that far. away.
how much is the milk? 100 pounds. Okay, that's pretty cheap. And it'll be like yen, where it's just. Why is it so hard to work out? Why'd you make it so big? Whenever I went to Croatia, it was like every kuna was worth like 8 English pounds. I was like, why?
Also, what a
There's
hilarious
so
name for currency.
Kuna. Yeah, I loved saying it. I said it as many times as I could in the holiday. Constantly saying kuna all the time. And it just got brought up because somebody asked me about Croatia the other day because they were planning on going. I was like, oh yeah, the kuna? It's 8 times more. It's the first thing I say all the time. It's just that it's 8 times more than the British pound. Fun fact. It's probably more than that now, I would say.
Maybe.
Yeah, right. Let's get into why I'm referencing Footloose. You know what? I'm gonna have to do a screen share for this, and we can sort of delve into this together, folks. Everybody involved. Last week. We had some questions sent in, some things coming our way, and people wanted us to talk a little bit about how bigger artists were returning to live shows. There's a lot of live shows planned in. It's not just Northern Ireland, it's the UK, a lot of areas, but we'll take Northern Ireland specifically. There's bands coming here. There's like Brockhampton coming early next year, Flighter coming in October. There's a bunch of gigs planned, right? So whenever I tried to do some digging last week, I seen that the funny thing about the regulations around playing music is that there were no regulations. I mean, it wasn't banned to play music. That was fine. You could do it. The issue was more that ever since Boxing Day, I think it was, the coronavirus regulations closed down hospitality and all non-essential retail and all that stuff again. So it meant that there was nowhere to play, was more of the issue. So now that we see these places opening up at the end of this week, right? A couple of days, 30th, I want to say, 30th of April.
I know
I'm pretty
people
sure.
have taken like days off just because of it, I guess, to go out.
Yeah, I'm almost positive because I think it happens on a Friday, so it's like 2 days away or something. Everything's opening back up again. To a certain extent, I think, like, if you go to a restaurant or something, you probably still have to eat outside or drink outside. I don't know. I don't care. I won't really be jumping headfirst into it. That's why I haven't paid too much attention. But the interesting part that came with it is that now there is a regulation around playing music in bars and venues. So I'll share my screen with y'all so that we can sort
Make
of
sure,
look at this together.
make sure there's no details on there, or ladies with giant thighs like you brought up the last time.
Whoa. Well, I can't help what. Well, I was about to say I can't help what ads come to me, but they're all based on what I search. It's like, damn it, I've been searching
Brown
so many
shoes.
thighs. You know what? Click save for later.
He has that outfit. I've seen it before.
I don't have. I mean, you know what? The shoes are pretty nice. I don't get all of this. How far?
Jeez,
Holy
that is a
shit.
Rick Grimes attire right there. What is happening?
Dude,
What's
look how
going
far
on?
this shirt button's down.
Hey.
The button's down to the belly button, but not all the
telling you.
way. That's confusing to me. That's
You
not
gotta
like
be
a
fabulous.
full button down, but it's a belly button down.
Belly button.
I don't think that's the proper fashion term, but that's what
It
I'm
should
gonna
be.
say.
Kanye
Big
West
old-
will probably do that.
I was gonna say it looks like a Kanye thing. There's a big old cross on it. So,
Yeah.
what were you? Did you gasp for something? Did you see something?
That's exactly what. No, that's what I was gonna say. It's like there's a cross on it, and
Oh yeah, yeah. There's classic Kanye, where it's like the cross is my
$500.
Yeah, the cross is now my brand. Everything with a cross on it, I patent.
I've pulled this paper bag out of the rubbish and put a cross on it and said it was me that done it. $500.
I just had a moment where I went outside of the podcast and just put myself in the listener's perspective. We just get so easily distracted.
Oh
what's
yeah,
good about it.
100%, 100%. Man, so many ads on this page just to start with. Something about gold bullion bars and coins. I am intrigued.
Bitcoin. They're mining your computer. They're mining it as we speak.
Dude, you gotta get into Bitcoin. It's going up again. It went down, but it's going up again. If I can sell Bitcoin to people. Okay, sorry. Right. Northern Ireland lockdown. No dancing or live music allowed when pubs reopen outdoor areas. So we'll quick read through this. Hospitality representative expressed concern on the impact the restriction could have on some venues. Yet no duh. Dancing and live music will not be permitted in pub beer gardens when they reopen next week, according to Stormount's coronavirus regulations. Outdoor hospitality venues, including bars and restaurants, are due to open on Friday in the next phase of relaxations to lockdown restrictions. COVID-19 regulations say premises must not allow dancing, the provision of music for dancing, or any live music. But the restriction on live music will not apply to wedding or civil partnerships, so we could always just try and get somebody who needs to get married if we're going to hold gigs.
So no live
So
music.
essentially,
and no
it's a ban
music.
on all music because you can't even play music because they don't
No.
want people dancing.
No,
That's what
no,
it
no.
says basically.
No. Right. Come to this line because this is what annoyed me more than anything. So they're allowed to have background music, but it must be at a level where a customer could speak normally. The hospitality representative said, for example, a DJ would be able to play music, but the volume would be reduced. So apparently DJs are all right.
What are they going to do? Are they going to restrict how much people drink as well?
How did they police that as well?
Yeah,
like,
that's
is there
what I'm
people running around with like decibel measures and stuff? Like, how?
This guy looks baller, by the way. Just calling
This
me
guy-
chief
this
executive of
guy-
Hospitality Ulster.
This guy looks like Tony Soprano's uncle.
Oh, it is. It's
Uncle June.
Uncle June.
It's Uncle June from back in the day.
We're gonna have to Uncle June comparison.
This guy.
Yeah.
Look at
It's
him.
friggin' him. It is him.
It's him.
So you gotta get this up side by side with this.
Look at that's a
Oh,
reference.
I can't do this. I've got many different tabs.
Look at that.
Oh shit! I am bad
Look
at
at that.
technology.
I don't trust him.
Don't trust them.
I don't trust him. What a show. Look at him.
Side by side.
That is
Oh,
a thing.
Fantastic. I didn't scroll down this low before whenever I was reading this. Yeah, so, you know, it was funny whenever my wife and I were talking about this, we were like, it really feels like, especially this line, that these regulations were just written by, like, old people, just like boomers. It's like,
Uncle June.
they're not allowed to have background music. Or no, sorry, they are allowed to have background music, but it must be at a level where a customer could speak normally. Must only be jazz fusion. I don't know. Like, I don't know what old people like. All right, stop screen sharing that shit. So Oh, we got a comment already. It isn't just live music that isn't allowed. No music of any kind, not even background. Well, I mean, well, that's based on this, so I don't know if that's changed. Maybe it has changed, but
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Either way, it's gonna be shit. You're either gonna go there and there's gonna be no music, or there's gonna be music that you can't hear over somebody just talking to you at a normal volume.
Yeah. There'll be like undercover cops at the bar. So it's like the minute the music goes up over a certain amount of decibels.
It'll be great when people just whip out like a speaker out of their pocket.
Here,
Like,
now there's an idea. Yeah.
Dunk.
They're gonna have to like put that person down on the
Fucking-
ground.
Is it a
Like,
pebble? What are they called again?
yeah,
Boombox?
you're like, yeah, you get those little beats pebbles or whatever they
Yeah.
are. Yeah, so I don't know, weird. Yeah, the plot of Footloose, there's a time where you can't dance on it. So the dancing one makes me laugh more than anything. It's just like
The dancing is weird. How do you
the
stop
dancing
someone
is
from
weird
doing
because
it?
imagine dancing in silence as well, and then like being arrested or something. It's like dancing to nothing, and then they're just like, "Whoa, you can't do that. You
But-
stop right there, straight
You
away."
say it's old people that came up with this. Do they literally mean like dancing like old people would dance, where they just go together and
Like a two-step back.
Some old couples tackled in the
One
middle of
step to
the
the
street
side.
for doing a
Two
waltz.
steps to the side, hands in the air.
Do you know what's going to happen? This is a conspiracy. Do you know what's going to happen? All the young folk are going to be like in pubs, not touching each other, and then in the bowling, like the freaking bowling clubs, no one's going to pay attention, and they're all going to be jamming. They're going to be dancing
Yeah,
together,
that's
loud
all the-
music, because all the focus is going to be on the young
Yeah.
ones.
All those people that made the regulation was like, "Oh, loud music," and then they're like pumping Michael Ball in the bowling club or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
I feel like somebody should organize a flash mob.
That might go terribly. We could get Van Morrison to organize it because he's the next one that I'm talking about here. Let's bring up. We're going full local tonight, folks. So we got Van Morrison back in the news, back on our screens again. Thank God, we've missed him so much, haven't we? He's always back with something hilarious. Look at him, his big gold microphone.
He also looks like a soprano. The hell?
He does kind of look. Well, yeah, I don't know. He does.
As in like
doesn't look
a
great.
mobster.
He does look like like Al Capone or something. So Van Morrison blames lack of free speech for backlash against anti-lockdown songs. So, if you don't know, Van Morrison released a bunch of anti-lockdown songs. Starting like last summer. I must have listened to them all maybe like one time or something like that. Because they're not very good. Not in my opinion, anyway. So, people were pretty peeved off to begin with because his songs are about not being in lockdown. And there's a sort of a range of emotions around this. Was that one, it seemed bad to have somebody established and, somebody that I was about to say people look up to, but I think generally as a country, even though we're like, oh, Van Morrison, he became famous. He is a dick if you know him, but, his music's pretty good. That's kind of like what everyone says. It's just like, oh, yeah, you don't want to meet him in person.
General
He's
consensus,
a terrible
yeah.
person. An awful, awful person. Every personal story I've heard of people that knew Van Morrison is that he is a douche. So, yeah, like having somebody of his notoriety be like, we don't want to lock down. That was pretty good.
Oh, you got to get a malware, so it's expired.
Yeah. Oh, did you? I tried to get it off the screen real quick there. Your trial has ended. I'm vulnerable right now. No hackers out there. They'll be like jumping on my computer now. He's vulnerable. Get him. Yeah, so somebody of Van Morrison's notoriety, first of all, being like, we don't want to be in a lockdown. It's like, well, you don't speak for all of us, Van. Okay? You don't speak for everybody involved here. You and your old, annoying ways. It's all right for you. I kind of want to be in the lockdown. It's not great, but it's better than catching coronavirus. The second thing that I think annoyed people more than maybe the first part is that through all the stuff that he lived through, especially in this country, I don't ever recall a protest song. It's like he lived through a lot of crazy stuff, and it's like he never thought, I'm gonna write a song about this. It was just more like going down to the caravan, and it's like, well, okay, there's crazy stuff going on, Van. I remember back when I was just a boy. It's like, well, right now though, there's stuff. There's stuff happening.
Important
I
things
remember
are happening.
fishing with my old friend Billy. Yeah, okay. But like, what about the current troubles in Northern Ireland? Nope. Cleaning windows. I don't know. Yeah, so it's like, this is what got you into the protest song realm. All right. Cool. So Van Morrison's quoted as saying, quote, 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 if you do songs that are an expression of freedom of speech, you get a very negative reaction. You can quote that, everyone. So, all joking aside, and him being kind of just an all-around douchebag, I am interested what your guys' take on this of, like, just maybe not coronavirus specific, but in general. His thoughts they're not completely wrong, I don't think, but he said that it basically, like, based on his songs or music that you're going to write, he's wondering why, in his view, poetic license and freedom of speech are no longer okay. So he said, I don't understand it. Some people call it a cult. It's like a religion. Whether anyone agrees with me or not is irrelevant. I don't know what he's talking about there. Just as there should be freedom of the press, there should be freedom of speech, and at the minute it feels like that is not in the framework. If you do songs that are an expression of freedom of speech, you get a very negative reaction. So, do you think there's any truth in that? Like, if you release a song, he's just saying freedom of speech, so I mean, it could be anything in particular. Like, to me, there's still a lot of protest music, and I don't think it gets as much of a backlash, really. That's just kind of my take on it. I just think his did, because the songs were pretty shitty, and they were about not having a lockdown, which most people were like, not on board, Van, not on board. So I don't know if he's just going too far, but I know we are in a current time in society where you do have to be kind of careful of what you say. I mean, it's obvious. Don't be rude. Don't be racist. Don't say anything that's absolutely horrible for no apparent reason. But maybe there's like some topics that you could sing about. Like, I mean, in this country, my God, there's a lot of songs you could write and release about even what's going on currently with the divide that's always been in this country. But like, if you're gonna release like something based on that now, personally, I would be kind of afraid to, just for the backlash, if you know what I mean. Does that make any sense? Like, I get what you're saying, and that is like, I might have poetic license to release it, but I'd be like, oh, what if I say something that like upsets somebody on either side of that argument? I don't really know.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, that argument, I think, is an awful lot different from what he's coming at here. Like, fair enough, if you were to release songs about what's going on now and stuff, everybody has their own opinion, and you're always going to piss somebody off there. But I think more what happened with Van is just like, the world that we live in now, things are challenged a lot more regularly, and you know, if you say stupid shit, you know,
Yeah.
it's up there for everybody to see, and up there for everybody to basically respond to immediately. And I think in this case, that's all that happened. Now, I know sometimes like they can have negative effects where somebody says something and you can kind of see both sides of a thing, and a mob develops very, very quickly. But I don't know, just in this case, I just feel like it's just the guy had like a massive platform, and yeah, nobody liked lockdown, and maybe certain choices could have been made better, but I just think it was like slightly irresponsible of him with the platform that he has to kind of just completely poo-poo the whole thing. And people just friggin' lit on him then. That's the way that I see it anyways.
Yeah, I think he's making it a bigger conversation than it is. Just because
I wonder, is it
didn't go
maybe
well.
selling records for him?
I don't. I mean,
I'm
he's been
controversial.
been in
the
the
new
news more
Kanye.
than I've seen him for a while. Yeah, he's going Kanye. He's going rogue.
Yeah.
He's going rogue. He'll be like, I am the #1 genius of all time. Oh, dude, Kanye. I've been listening to the breakdown of Yeezus on the Dissect podcast that I always show a lot of love for on this, but yeah, it's just so funny. Some of the Kanye quotes I'm getting out of that are just absolutely genius. They're so good, and you know what? His points are always like, that's the thing, is like the way he addresses them are terrible, and then if you actually try and take away the message, you're like, I get where he's coming from though. It makes a lot of sense, but he talks like a crazy person. Is the issue.
We talked about this before. It's like he needs his own, like, that skit in Key and Peele, his own translator.
His translator, yeah, he definitely does need some form of a translator, I would say. Right. Oh, a couple of comments here. So, yeah, so he's angry that people used their freedom of speech to say he was a dick. Yes.
Very good point.
Yeah, and I'm always cynical of Van's motivations. I think he did it all for publicity. Yeah, I would say that's probably true as well. Which is, it's so hard. I just feel like he's one of those artists where I always split it in two because, like, you know, our dad, me and Mike, he played Van Morrison all the time, still does, which made us big fans of him growing up. And although I'm a huge fan of the music, once you start seeing the guy, you're like, oh, what an asshole. It's just, what a terrible person. I knew one story of a friend of mine. His granny had a party once, and Van Morrison showed up to the party, obviously in like Belfast somewhere, and he came in, and he was just like, the minute he got in the door, he was like yelling and giving off about, like, asking where all the women were. There weren't enough women for him, and then wound up like taking some of his granny's like cutlery, plates and stuff, and throwing them, smashing them against the wall. And I was like, oh, what a cool guy. Nice.
Yeah, sounds fun.
Morrison is awesome. Great music, though, right? If you want music about being 5 years old again, that's your guy, because that's most of the songs.
What's his most popular song?
Brown Eyed Girl, probably.
Okay, I've heard that.
Yeah.
But everything else.
You're my brown-eyed girl. There's a perfect rendition for you right there. Just in case anybody didn't know that song, in the comments there. Oh, actually, yeah. I have Holly Weston in the comments.
Confirming,
and it was
100%.
her granny's, yes. 100% true story, yes. I probably don't tell it as well, but it's like, it's something I think I was told like 10 years ago or something. So I'm trying to remember. It seems accurate.
Yeah.
So another thing that I seen just before we jumped on here, and we actually as a group listened to it kind of quickly there, is that Travis Barker's working with everybody, eh? He's just working with everyone now. He's released a song with Will Smith's daughter.
So before you carry on, I have a
Yeah.
scratched out note from last week saying, Travis Barker is a Kardashian now? Is his music in decline? Carry on with the story.
I'm pretty sure you said that last week.
I did. It's
Yeah, I
written
think
down
you
here.
touched on it towards the end, I think.
It's there.
I still stand by the fact that Travis, as a drummer, can get away with working with anyone or doing
As a drummer,
anything.
yeah. As a Kardashian,
Dude, his Instagram story has just become like,
a
I
porno
just met
movie.
you, but we were the most explicitly in love two humans on the planet ever, and we have too much money. So here's us making out in the Caribbean all the time. It's like, don't want to see it. Don't want to see it. Could just unfollow, but you know, I've been following him for so long because I'm like,
Because you're hoping he's gonna put up those cool drum videos as well.
it's like,
They
dude,
just get
play
back to
some
putting those up.
drums.
Yeah.
Play some drums, my man.
I bet you the next
So-
thing you see on his Instagram story, the only thing is drumming is a Kardashian bottom. Like this.
Oh, dude.
And as soon as you see that,
Unfollow. That was like my I like recorded it, screen grabbed it on my phone of the moment I had to unfollow Joe Rogan because I just had it.
why did you... The fact that you screen recorded it was like, what is going on here?
It was the fact that, right, there's so much the guy says that just like annoys me. And I'm just like, he's so irritating to me, and it was getting worse and worse. And then it was just like one post of him like doing the splits, taking a photo of himself in the mirror. I was like, I don't know why, but that was
That's
it.
it.
That was
I'm
the
out.
last straw. And I'm like, I can't look at this. I
He's-
can't. I
he's-
don't want to see
he's-
your sweaty ass body doing the splits,
He's
dude.
trying to motivate. He's trying to motivate other
He
old men.
demotivated me. Actually, demotivated. I had to go back to bed. I was
I'll
just
follow
like,
him. If I could follow him again for your unfollow, I would.
Oh
that
man,
guy.
I know. Oh god.
He's just being He's trying to be inspirational.
being
Don't be hating.
I don't know. There's always videos of Joe Rogan that irritate me. But he's a super successful man, so it doesn't matter what I think. Nobody cares. Yeah, I was speaking of things that like nobody cares what I think before I talk about the Travis Barker thing. Yeah, Billie Eilish is she's announced the release of her new album, which is called
Yeah.
Happier Than Ever, and the new single. It's either out tomorrow or Friday. Can't really remember. I want to say it's tomorrow though, but a Thursday release is odd, which is why I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, I'm saying it because it feels like it's big news for a lot of people, but I would be lying if I said I was a fan. I just can't. I can't get on board with the Billie Eilish thing. No hate or anything. I don't get it. I don't really enjoy the music. And every time I say this, I haven't found one person to agree with me. Everybody just starts like
Whoa.
lynching me in an alleyway. Like I need to get beat up because I don't really like listening to the music. Not trying to be like controversial whatsoever. Just telling you the truth from
Yeah,
my heart.
just not for me. Yeah.
It's just not for me. That's all it is. I don't understand it personally. There's certain people where it's like I get it more. Andy talked before about The Weeknd, and I get The Weeknd. I still don't really listen to it, and I tried really hard, but I'm like, it's not really gonna be something that I sit down and listen to. No idea why, but it's just a preferential thing. I guess I just don't. Yeah, I don't vibe with it. But I don't know. I'm not doing a very good explanation here because I feel like I'm just trying to say one's better than the other, even though I don't like the music of either, which makes no sense. But Billie Eilish thing I just find confusing because it just seems like she's just whispering all the time.
Well, that's
But-
like a style of music, you know.
I guess.
But and then she done a song with Rosalina, I think. It's like a Spanish song. That was really cool. That was a cool song. I don't know. I think it's just unique instead of.
I guess so, yeah. And it is pretty unique, but like
It
songs
was a different.
like
I think that was the thing at the time. It was a different, whatever way it's all produced. It's her brother, isn't it? That produces
Yeah,
it?
I mean, if the
And-
story's crazy.
That whole vocal thing was so fresh at the time that I think that's part of the thing that they used to really blow her up, like all her PR and stuff. It was just. It was. I'm sure you had like friggin' Dave Grohl on and stuff saying, like nobody's like heard anything like this before, like really amping it up and everything, and that's
Yeah.
fine.
know.
It worked for a new generation of people and whatever.
Yeah, I just don't get how it's always these weird PR things or a media blitz where it's just kind of like they
Well, that's
started
what
throwing
happens
her
when
in the
you have
same
a team
conversation
and
as
massive
like
money.
yeah, they started talking like
Is it not her and
Nirvana
her brother?
comparisons and shit, and I was just like, what? Nirvana comparison? I don't get that, man. I don't get that. But all right.
I don't know.
But each their own. Anyways, I don't care if you like her. She's releasing a new album, which I think so many people are pumped for because it's been a while. With the
It's
new
like-
single coming out, so
It's like her and her brother in a studio in a room because she has there's a documentary. Unfortunately, it's only on Apple TV. and it's like following her story for a few years, and yeah, it's like her and her brother just kicking it in a room essentially, and coming out with just multi-platinum freaking songs.
Yeah.
It's like, the hell?
That's
It's
it.
pretty cool.
That is it. But
Like
yes,
creatively and like her image and stuff. Obviously, you work on that because, as both of you know, you need a image for music,
you need
essentially.
the whole package, the
Exactly.
whole like uniqueness all
Yeah.
around, and she does have that. So I understand that. Like that's definitely it. It's just the whispering thing's weird to me, but it's just me.
I wonder will they change it up for the new
Yeah, for
album?
the next record, that would be.
Will it
might
be
do.
louder?
Like I said,
always
with
give it a
the
go, so
with the Spanish song, she sounded normal. So, I think it's just
Yeah.
a style thing.
not like no habla inglés or something like that. No.
But and then what's different than
Duh.
that? What's different than that? Than Tom DeLonge going, "Oh mine, and I'm mine, and mine."
Yeah, that's true. Although
That
Some
is
voice.
exactly it. Yeah, it's just what works for you.
yeah,
Some people like screechy, whiny dudes, and some people
Other,
like
like,
whispering.
I think it just sounded too much like ASMR put to music for me, which is weird. Because then I feel like, you know, if you want something unique, what I'm gonna do is those weird eating videos that like people do on YouTube. So I'm just gonna like eat stuff and I'm gonna sing all the lyrics while my mouth is full of food because that's never been done before. And Dave Grohl's gonna be like, nobody's ever heard anything like this in their lives. Yeah, and
The
it could be
craziest
really-
ones are where you see like,
Oh,
I
the
think they're
full,
Korean, like
seafood ones, like
yeah,
the
like the
full-
octopus, and their
Oh.
their legs are going, and they've got like the
No,
octopus in their
no,
mouth.
no. I can't even think about it again. I watched one once and I was like, I can never unsee that. It's always there. But yeah, it's coming up. It'll be after my. It'll maybe be in my boy series. So we get Sad Boy, Good Boy, and Fat Boy, and then it'll just be me munching on food while I sing.
Fat Boy Slim. You
No,
can't
Fat
use
Boy,
that. It's taken.
Fat Boy Fat. Fat Boy's still fat. Hungry Boy. I just got a suggestion. Yeah, that works. Who's a hungry boy? I am. I actually am because I'm dieting hard at the moment.
No, you can't be putting. Remember, you unfollowed Joe Rogan for inspiring people. People might start unfollowing you for putting out food. But
I'm sorry, I can't hold my inspiration in. My inspirational personality just leaks out, Andy. It's like, be inspired, everyone. Go out and be your best selves. Live your lives.
go out and be a rebel, dance in a bar.
You take on the system. You take on the system and dance your pants off.
Just everyone in a bar just walk around with headphones. Just
Yeah, can we
Listening
not do
to their own music.
silent disco or something again? Silent discos could be a hit once again.
oh, by the way, why? Yes, somebody come up with that. Bars are opening. You can come in and do a silent disco, and then that means you can have the music as loud as you want in your ears. You can even take one out, and then you can talk to your friends
Exactly.
and drink at the same time.
I think that fixes the whole yelling thing because I know what they're like. I'm not dumb. Like I know the reason they're trying to do the restrictions is because if music is too loud, then people talk louder or they shout over it, and there's.
Have
spray
you ever
coming out.
have you ever talked to a friend drunk at a gig before? It's like spray just
Yeah.
yeah,
it's-
they're trying to avoid that.
What
And then also-
pedals is he using? I don't know. What?
I have that one. I have that one at home.
That's a tuner, Mike. That's a tuner. Everybody's got that one.
Oh, I
also
don't have
use
that
this.
one. I don't have that one.
That will become very apparent.
Also, do you know how many people are just going to plan weddings? Hey, we can't
Yeah.
listen to music in here, but let's get married tomorrow.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like maybe if like a bunch of people that watch this show want to put on a gig together,
Yeah.
we could organize like a
Right.
4-band setup, and all we need is somebody to get married, and then it would
Right.
look good. We gotta do it.
Next weekend, me, you, Andy, shotgun wedding. We're
Let's
getting
do it.
hitched.
Yep.
Party time.
Party time.
Party time, everybody. We can do it. What was I gonna? I don't know. I was talking about something completely different. I don't know.
You were going to talk about Billie Eilish that you didn't care, and then something else you didn't care about was the Kardashians, and that's where you left off.
Willow Smith, the
Willow Smith.
female Will Smith. Imagine calling your daughter. You're Will Smith, and you called your daughter Willow.
Willow Smith.
I love myself so much. Call my daughter Willow. Yeah, so she released a song with Travis Barker. I feel like Travis, in a way, though, I know you're saying the decline of music. The song musically is actually pretty good.
The
And I
song's
think
generic. Oh, what?
yeah, well, it kind of is. But he's, I think, like, whenever he's producing on tracks recently, it's actually been really good. And it has, like, a nice sound to it. Because, like, he produced and stuff on Trippie Redd's record and Machine Gun Kelly. And it's like, I really like the sound of those, personally. I actually liked it better than the sound that John Veltman
What did I say before we went live?
Records. What?
What did I say before we went live? How that song sounded?
I can't remember.
It's
What
like,
did you
is
say?
this Winona Bleach?
Hey, that sounds like a knock on Winona Bleach.
No, I'm just saying. It's like,
not as good as Winona Bleach.
no, I'm just saying that's what it sounds like. But
yeah, well,
obviously
I
they
get where
do
you're
it.
coming from.
It's like, but
Slightly
people,
better.
and this is the problem. People will go, they'll listen to that and go, oh, that's really cool. Some people that aren't in the local scene will listen to Winona Bleach and going, I mean, they're local.
Yeah, I know. This is the problem. Yeah,
That's
I can
that's
very
the
much
issue
see
that I'm
them
bringing
doing
up.
a song like that. Yeah, no, I totally get it.
Like, that's Winona Bleach's, well, maybe not all the sound, but that's the music I hear.
Yeah, well, it's in the same like arena, I guess. I would
But
say.
it's like, just because it's Travis Barker and Willow Smith, it's like, oh yeah, I'll listen to this sound now. It's like, well, there's a perfectly fine band over here that you can listen to that style all the way through.
yeah.
So
or go
why
see
would you
them
not
live.
take time there? And yeah,
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, and I just want to jump in because this is a funny thing. I don't really know how I feel about it, but I know because Travis Barker's been on a couple of different things lately, and some people are saying some of the stuff that he's involved in at the minute is questionable and stuff. But I read this other slightly interesting take that I don't know if I 100% side with, but I thought it was an interesting way of looking at it. They were sort of saying, like, out of like all the Blink guys, Travis seems to be doing the most to try and get a pop punk revival type thing going on by trying to assist like a new generation of people that will eventually become, now whether they will or not, whether he's picked the right people, but like, you know,
That's
will
what I was about to
down
say,
the
Willow
line
Smith.
become the Blinks and Newfound Glories and everything that was big back in the day, whatever.
Do a
And I
song
kind of
with
get that,
Jake.
and then like, if you're talking about like Winona Bleach doing music in a similar vein too, does it not help to have stuff that like that back in the mainstream if he can actually help do that? Whether he's going to be able to or not, I don't know. But like, say that song became popular, in a certain way, it would make it easier for other grassroots level bands to also get songs out there, and it is a popular thing again then, and people are back into it the way they were, like maybe say like 10 years ago or something. I don't know. It's just, it's like, you know, sitting on the fence, as you know, I always do, the centrist that I am. It's just an interesting other way to look at it. I don't know, but yeah,
No, I get
was
that.
just reading that. Yeah.
I get that, but why? But you know for a fact that that song will become popular, and then there'll be a local show, and that group of people will walk past that show and go, "Oh, that sounds similar to Jaden and Travis Barker, but
Yeah.
they're famous and they're in a little bar playing something. So let's
Yeah.
just carry on."
Which will probably always be the issue.
Yeah,
like,
you're always fighting against that. It's
yeah,
I don't know.
notoriety, connection.
I get it will definitely elevate. Something.
The genre.
Yeah,
The genre would be
But
elevated.
to pick
which-
Willow Smith, pick Jaden, Pick somebody else.
Yeah, well, I'm not specifically talking about.
No, I know. I'm
Willow
just
Smith.
carrying
There
on.
was
Yeah.
my hope for one that he has picked that is right and is good is he done a song with Kenny Hoopla as well that me and Stu we both really like him, and then Stu's talked at length about the MGK record that came out a while back, and I think I seen there recently that Kenny Hoopla's actually supporting him on his tour.
Yeah.
Which is like you're getting back to like a stacked lineup of pop punk stuff, which you haven't had for an awful long time, which is kind of cool.
Well, I'm glad you said it, because I mean that was gonna be my point about it anyway. Because in particular, this song, the Willow Smith one, it's like I don't know, man. It's like it sounds all right, and what I'm saying is the production on it sounds good, and it's very, I guess a bit nostalgic. The lyrics suck. They suck so bad. There's a lyric about running away like the Flash, and I was like, that's stupid. And the video is just like Willow Smith pulling the old finger up to the camera, like, I'd be so punk, man. I'd be so punk. Pulling the fingers. Like,
But put yourself in 14-year-old Stu's shoes. Would that have maybe been?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Show that finger. Oh, yeah. Fuck you, Mom and Dad. Fuck you, Grandpa. that was me, 14 apparently.
The dangerous thing about pop punk and stuff coming back is you'll get like Mark and all them ones just going, oh, we can come back at 50. Yeah.
Sure, they never went away, and they maybe should have.
I know.
Let's make another punk record about how we were teenagers. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that's happening right now.
That was the last Blink record.
It was like, it's like fucking everything. It's, Blink keep doing it. Like Good Charlotte tried to like come back at one point by making old nostalgic pop punk. Offspring just released a record there. Yeah, have you heard?
I mean, no, I haven't. That's why I'm saying it. I mean, it could be, your bag or whatever, but I don't know.
Do you know the only? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna do a rendition of a song from the Offspring album, which is
I haven't heard.
Let the Bad Times Roll.
Oh, sounds good.
You see what they did there? They took the good times, let the good times roll. That's usually the saying. We're gonna let the bad times roll, and it just goes a little like this. It goes, oh baby, let the bad times roll. Oh. Like that. That's it over and over again.
Gotta have the
it's
oh-ohs.
really dumb. Oh.
Who done that song where they went, oh? I think it went, oh.
Binds
Whatever
of
that
Love
was.
by.
There we go.
Can we do a 3-part harmony of that?
That was such a tune.
That would be amazing if we plan it for next week. Let's start practicing the 3-part harmony. That
We
Kid
could
Bush
just
cover.
start posting them up on the Your Spaceship page, like friggin' your guy from Bombay Bicycle Club.
I know. Only we're really bad. I'm sorry. In the comments, that's literally every song by the Ramones. That's true. Like in just one word. Like it could just be anything. It'd just be like Pepsi.
Sounds like you're in a football match.
Pepsi. There's actually Pepsi in this, which worries me because I haven't been out
No,
to this.
it could be
much
anything
in a
in
while.
that.
There's probably like 5 spiders and 10
Future
dead
Heads.
flies inside.
The song
Yeah,
name
Future
came to me
Heads.
first. I couldn't remember the band name. Do you know that song's etched into my memory? I'm pretty sure that was a song whenever we first went to Leeds Festival. We got to the main stage the first time, and that's who was playing at the main stage. I'm pretty
They
sure
were a good
that song
band.
was on. They were
like
very
the
good.
Future Heads.
They were cool.
They were in that indie revolution
Yeah.
at the time where it was just like there's loads of indie bands and then they just all, I don't know, they got sucked into oblivion all of a sudden.
They
It
all
was
just sounded too similar, and everyone
Yeah,
went,
everyone-
wait, everyone's the same.
nobody could tell which band was which at a certain point. It's like they all sound exactly the same. Yeah, so like what you said, Mike, is just, I do believe that I believe that genre of music's coming back hard, and I don't think it maybe wouldn't be as full on as like just the pop punk that we grew up with, but I think it's definitely integrated in other songs. Trippie Redd, yeah, he did songs that were a bit full on pop punk with Travis Barker, but he also had that hip hop side of it. And there's like other guys that have been doing that for a while now, like what's that guy called, Ian Dior. He's been releasing music like that. Juice World was doing it before he passed away. It's kind of this idea of like you take those modern elements of hip hop, some of the trap drums, and then it's the subject matter over everything. Maybe like a little bit of that like twangy chorused guitar and heavier guitars in the chorus, but it's still hip hop, but based on I'm sad and depressed and things suck, because that's the stuff that kids relate to. Whereas like hip hop for a long time was mainly like, either gloating or like diss raps or brutal stories.
Literally Jay-Z has a cover your ears, little kids, but literally Jay-Z has a song called Money Cash Hose.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the title of the song.
Pretty much what you got from hip hop for a long time.
He's got big pimpin'.
Yeah. But like I think you can even hear it with Jordan Adetunji from here, from Northern Ireland. I think he hits on a lot of different elements of hip hop, but he's definitely been doing that sort of like, it's almost like emo rap is such
a very cool
blanket
line.
Yeah, it's such a blanket term, but it is that idea of like, talking about your personal problems, your mental health issues, things that affect a lot of people.
Joe Budden's been doing that for years.
He stopped rapping though.
Yeah, but go listen to his Rage Against the Machine album and All Love Lost and stuff. It's like,
yeah. I mean, look, there's outliers to it, I would admit, but I just think it's the fact that you have it on such a big platform now, like a mainstream platform. But it seems to be like, I can listen to this song about like overdosing on like Xanax or some crap, on the radio. I'd be like, overdosed.
This is catchy.
Died.
Yeah.
This is good, man. This is good. This makes me feel good about myself.
But this is the thing, though. Do you not find it? I kind of, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's quite interesting, and I like that music is like this at the minute. That there's a lot of stuff that is kind of genreless, and just there is a lot of melding of things, because I suppose it's kind of like a result of the fact that everything's been done before and everything's had its time period and stuff now. So like, what else is there to do other than like ram shit together and like try and blend genres and stuff? Because like otherwise you're not gonna get anything new. And I kind of like that there is really a big mashup between, we were talking a couple of weeks ago that like it is all hip hop and rap is where it's at the minute, and there is so many different genres that are taking from that and using that, because like, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's what's popular and stuff at the minute. But I think it's pretty cool that it's so hard to define genres a lot now. But then I suppose if we are talking to like listeners and stuff and people in grassroots bands, as annoying as it is at the start, you're probably best trying to define yourself and make it easy for people that are looking at you, at least to start with. You know what I mean? You can be more creative as your career develops, but at the start you want to make it easy for people to just go, oh, I know where this sits, sort of thing. And you can still do that with having like different musical elements in your songs. You know what I mean? It doesn't all have to fit into like pop punk or hip hop or whatever. And there's plenty of local artists that have proved that, like you're saying about Jordan Adetunji and stuff. You know, he is went both, like he has rocky elements and he definitely does hip hop and rap and stuff too. Yeah. But like whenever you look at him, then you do put him in hip hop category. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the interesting thing, is that now that there are these people doing those like mashups of styles to create something new, it's like Jordan Adetunji, I feel like, say a song like either his recent release Riot or Woke Up that he released before, like you could compare him to, Juice WRLD, or you could compare him to Kenny Hoopla on Woke Up a little bit,
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, the reason that we have those comparisons is because those people are like making this sort of new genre, but I definitely just think it's that thing of teenage angst and, the emo phase that, we all went through as kids to some extent, or, that sort of like, you just want to hear music talking about like, fuck you, grandpa. that whole thing that's just like, Andy's
I can't.
disgusted.
That's fucking... Do you know why I can't? Because I know 90% of people that cry about teenage angst don't even live through it. They're doing it just because it's fucking popular. And no, I didn't mean Joe. Do you see?
Joe Biden? I thought Nanda said Joe Biden.
That's hilarious.
You should listen to the Rage Against the Machine album by Joe Biden. Imagine.
That is hilarious.
I'm just going to change all the times that you tell me you're listening to the Joe Budden podcast. Listen to the Joe Biden
Oh,
podcast.
yeah, that's been the thing.
Back in 1876.
After falling off the stairs.
Boom! Oh, sorry, I just fell over.
Yeah, America.
Yeah, America. America made me trip up those stairs to the airplane.
No, you aged it. Oh.
Man, it's just it's that classic. I think I already said this to you before, but it's the trip, and then he like trips again, and then he checks his pant leg as if like, damn pant leg, wasn't there? It was your fault. Don't blame your pants.
Normally,
It was
I'm
your
not wearing
fault.
pants whenever I walk onto my plane.
Yeah. Damn president job. I have to wear pants now. Until he gets to the Oval Office and they just take those babies off, man. It's
Like
free
he's like
flowing
Walter
under
White coming out of the RV. Just
it. It's the only way I don't trip. The only way I won't trip up myself. Right. I think that's a good time to take a commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about a couple of things with our own projects that are coming out very, very soon. So
How long's
we're
our
gonna play...
commercial break? Can
I need to
very
pee.
make it to
long,
mine?
I'm gonna
You guys
dip
go
now.
That's okay. If it keeps going, then we'll go through the Stranger Days ads again. It's all good, right? We will be right back after this commercial break. If you want to wrap your ears around all the music we've been talking about on the podcast, we run a special playlist over on Spotify. It's called Distant Sound Waves. Here over at Six Set Bro, we always thought, well, what's the gosh darn point of doing a music podcast if you can't let people hear any music? There is a whole lot of legal mumbo jumbo and copyright issues that prevent us from actually doing that on the pod. So we thought that was a pretty good compromise. We make a playlist and it gets updated every single month. On the playlist, we have things like all the new singles from local homegrown talent that we've talked about. Maybe some of the bigger artists that we've had conversations about, we'll put those guys on there. Or maybe it's just something new that we stumbled across and we've been talking about on the podcast. It is all there. You can find Distant Sound Waves by searching for it on Spotify, or you can find the links all over our social medias.
Hey there, fresh-faced creative in a youthful advertising demographic. Does your reading material have a distinct lack of cultural nourishment for your slowly decaying, malnourished soul? Stop! Put that garbage down. Everyone knows you shouldn't get your news from old mediums like paper. That's 2/8th century. Plug into the information superhighway, loser, and read a zine. It's like a magazine, but without all that dumbass paper. Read Stranger Days, the arts and culture e-zine. It's got music, comedy, art, poetry, tarot cards, cinema, Year Spaceship, comics, podcasts, and Jim Carrey. Read Stranger Days now, because between you, me, and your trusty canine companion, we know fluffy cuddles and e-zines are the only way to push back the existential dread slowly consuming your every waking moment. Hold back the darkness today with Stranger Days. Available now at strangerdays.wordpress.com.
Welcome back to the show.
How's about that for timing, my babies?
Yep. Old Nandez.ttv is very efficient at his toilet use.
Also, this is the first time I've had to pee because, just
whoa,
bottles
that's a lot of water, my friend.
bottles of just drinks everywhere. Just
Dude, I'm drinking water with you tonight. It's very yeah, it's a very
hydrated.
team show.
Are you guys both on water? Oh dear.
Yeah, Mike.
That's not good.
What are you
I'm
drinking?
I'm gonna sound stupid by the end of this podcast, as usual.
Well,
Molson.
oh, you got the Molson's. Nice.
They got it back in stock.
Ah, dude.
Only in tins though. Wee tinnies.
Don't even tempt me. I'm currently doing a 30-day ketogenic diet challenge, and yeah.
No beer. What can you drink? Can you drink whiskey?
I can
Whiskey
drink
and
water,
spirits.
Whiskey?
water and black coffee. I don't plan on having any
damn.
alcohol either, to be honest. Just in case. It's the sugar.
No, spirits are fine.
Spirits are meant to be fine, but I don't like. I'm just trying to like lose a lot of weight and be healthier. So I'm like 30 days.
I might have to unfollow you to be too inspiring. Don't inspire me.
Fair. I am like it is just coming out
Just
in
Andy,
droves
just
right
wait
now.
for the post where he does the splits, and then you can screen it and follow.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm just fucking I understand Joe Rogan's struggles now for just the inspiration just coming out of me.
It's hard to be inspirational, isn't it? It's a hard life.
When I'm working out, it's not sweat coming out; it's pure inspiration. Right. So, what we came here to talk about. What is the title of this episode? Potentially, new Kendrick Lamar could be released next week. Oh, babies. Yeah, we had a teaser from TDE, Top Dog Entertainment, which is
That
the label
nobody's really
Kendrick
paid
was on.
attention to because Kendrick's coming out now and everyone's paying attention to it.
Yeah. So, I like
Sorry.
other people on TDE. Come on. So they posted a Instagram teaser that was just like the TDE logo with like a little old school loading bar on the bottom, and it like loads up to 100 and then gives you the date of 7th of May. So, that it could mean a lot of things. It really could, and it might not be Kendrick, but the reason people think it is because the caption on the post was what did it say? It's like the wait is over or something. It's something along those lines that makes it seem like something that we have been waiting for.
Yeah.
Which seems like Kung Fu Kenny, man.
Could he have a different persona though?
I believe that he will, of some degree. But do you think there's anything to this old school loading bar? Do you think that's relevant or just a random thing? But it like looks like a really old like video game or computer like loading bar, and I'm like, is that part of it or is that?
Do you know what I hope it is? I hope it's their version of Dreamville. I really do. That's what I want. I want a TDE collaborative album.
As much as I would like that, I want my new Kendrick. I want my new Kendrick straight up project. A collaborative TDE would be awesome, but it's just I feel like right now I need a long form conceptual album from Kendrick Lamar desperately in my life. I just need that. Whereas a TDE like collab album would be great, but it would just kind of like wouldn't mean anything, if you know what I mean. Like, it wouldn't have like what?
Rude.
Well, no, I don't mean. I mean like there wouldn't be a flowing conceptual narrative, which I like so much. Although it's hard to tell because like Kendrick Lamar produced the Black Panther album, and I feel like somehow on that he's still created it into some form of conceptual Marvel soundtrack, which is crazily impressive. And it was great. It almost acted as a TDE collaborative effort, to be fair. That's almost as close as it's gonna get. But
That'd be cool to it'd be cool to have him back.
I mean, I really hope so. Although I have a concern now because I was planning on doing a release on the 7th of May. Or and I'm just like,
Oh damn.
maybe that's a bad idea.
Or is it?
Or is it? Yes.
Or is it? Why? Tell me this. Why is it bad? Just say you're an artist. Why is it bad to, apart from the obvious that people will think, why is it bad to release a single or something when a big artist is also releasing something?
For any artist or just like
Just general.
somebody
general
on my level?
Question. Just general question. Even your
General
level or
question
whatever.
is people do this all the time.
People
It's
only
'cause
have so much
attention-
ear time.
Yeah, attention gets pulled
see.
away as well as you're battling for the number one spot. This is why it's a genuine like thing, is that record labels try and find out whenever other big stars are releasing so that they can avoid it. And it's the same with like
Movie
if you're
releases,
on a label,
video game releases. They
Okay,
all do
so-
the same
you
thing.
need to
yeah.
spread
but-
them out.
If you're talking short term, so on that, in that instance, what is the difference between what I said about the Winona Bleach stuff to this?
Like as in, well,
If you
You're
get
still
put in
saying-
the same bracket and people take, they'll listen, because playlists are the thing now, right?
yeah,
Like
mostly.
curated playlists. So
Yeah.
if a big artist comes out and just say you're on that playlist, like people are going to go, oh, there's this. They'll listen to that the majority of the time, but there will be some bleed into something else because there's more activity because of the big
Yeah.
artists there.
So I get what
Yeah.
you're saying there. I think the difference in my mind, what we were talking about between like, say like certain big bands trying to push like a pop punk revival, and then bands at grassroots being in that same genre and then being taken along for the ride in that genre, getting given a bit more credibility and stuff again. That's fine, but they're gonna have the same problem if the big artists release on the exact same day as them, because release day is a big thing for traction. And if you're competing with big and it takes away from your listens and stuff, then immediately it doesn't have impact. And then from first day onwards, you still push as much as possible. We've always told people, like, do that. Do not give up on your tracks. Do not give up on your albums. But like first day, second day, third day numbers is probably your best. And then you're probably going downhill from there, like as you try and continue to push, sort of thing. I think like if you build to something, then you're gonna get the big stuff at the start, and then it's kind of gonna tail off, and then you have to refocus and concentrate on the next thing then. So I think that's the difference in argument about what we're talking about. Yes, it's good for people to put out stuff in a similar genre and raise a genre back up that maybe doesn't have a light shone on it anymore. But then if you're competing with somebody who is like way bigger on a release day, it's much better for you to, like, if you can control it at all, like release something in a quieter period whenever it's like all your friends and stuff that you're releasing to aren't going to be distracted by fucking new Kendrick or something like that,
Yep.
I think
Yep.
I think is the way
I
would
think on a
about it.
personal level that would be right. And
So that
when-
deters you just because, and this is just to carry the conversation on.
Yeah.
So Kendrick Lamar and you releasing when Kendrick Lamar comes out, you think that's going to affect anything?
Put it this way, if I was putting a song out and it was the same day as Kendrick and you guys are my best friends, I would not feel bad in any way and not give a shit if you guys didn't listen to the song that I put out, because I'd be like, I want to fucking listen to the new Kendrick and probably want to
Yeah.
listen to it about 20 times in a row that day, and I'm not going to have time for anything else. And then maybe the next day I'm going to be busy, and then I'm going to forget you put your song out, and then it's going to be a week or two later, and it's like, oh, by the way, man, got around to listening to your song. It's really good. Oh, yeah, that's done. I'm working on the next thing. I'm trying to push the next thing because I got 10 listeners.
Yeah. And that, the stuff like that happens. And I mean, on
Yeah.
a grander scale of like big artists, like there's shit that happened before. Like I said, record labels will try and find out the releases of other big stars, if they can. One of the most like big infamous things that happened with all that like Kanye beef and Drake, or Kanye and Drake beef and stuff, was them trying to like Kanye trying to figure out when Drake's release schedule was and stuff
That's
like
because
this. To
Drake's petty. That's why.
but this is, well, it was Kanye trying to do it. He was the one that was trying to like fucking almost drop on each other or like screw up his release pack, which is just frustrating because it inadvertently becomes a competition. That's another part of the problem. You could think you have like this incredible album, which if it was released completely, unmatched with anything else at the time that is on such a high status, because we're talking about like superstar status here, like the Drakes and the Kanyes and the Kendrick Lamars. Imagine all three of those albums dropped on one day. Like, people will instantly go to the conversation of which one is the best, which is not necessarily what they're there to be. It's not a fight. It's not a match.
I still don't think if you're an artist at Kendrick's level, and obviously you're a local artist, I don't think Kendrick coming out affects anything if you just put it out.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm still gonna be releasing something on the 7th of May anyways.
Yeah.
Because
I'm looking
Friday,
at my.
That's the point.
Yeah, because I just went onto my release radar. It's literally there's a song from her, and then there's Jordan Adetunji right below that.
Yeah. And I've got stuff like that too, which is great. It's just more like some people work like that on playlists, and you know what? Like, I get what Mike is saying as well, but I think it would affect you slightly less as on somebody on our levels, because it's not like it's screwing us out of millions of dollars. Like, that's the difference. Is just like, look, if it takes away some listeners and they get to it later, it doesn't really have a huge impact on us as artists. The problem is whenever you go the bigger scale. I mean, these record labels and these people wouldn't be trying to figure out release schedules for no reason.
Oh yeah,
it clearly has a huge impact. With two competing superstars at the same.
Oh yeah,
time.
in the bigger scale, yeah, you'll never see a friggin' J. Cole and Kendrick and Drake release on the same week.
Oh yeah, no way. Because it's just a constant fight and a battle and unnecessary competition.
Like in that level, I would understand.
Yeah, here it's just more of it's not going to impact me financially at all. It's not going to make too much of a difference, because I would assume that the loyal fan base that I have will probably still listen the way that they were going to, more or less. But yeah, it's maybe just a big distraction if it's like a huge release, like a huge superstar thing, a la Kendrick Lamar. On the same day I put something out, I could see a lot of people not listening to the track that might have if there was no big release that day, I guess.
And then you would also have more eyes on the platform.
Yeah, for sure. More people would jump on there, but are they going to their release radar, or are they going straight to the artist's album release? I get the question. It just depends how people consume music at the end of the day. But it doesn't really matter, because it's Bandcamp Friday on the 7th of May, if nobody knew, so I do have a little something coming out then.
And there you go. And then also after that, it's on the artist to, I'm sure you'll do it, but it's also on the artist to then, Kendrick Lamar's out, I'm also possibly on this playlist, because I'm a smaller artist, put myself out there potentially more than what they would have to do.
Yeah.
So that's the second phase of a big release being out. It's like, promotion, self-promotion, I guess.
Constant self-promotion, man. But yeah, I mean, speaking of that, yeah, I have some stuff on the way. But I think first of all, we should talk about the first release that's coming from the Year Spaceship Collective in a while, which is something completely new. We got the man from down south, as I said, not literally, not from
going
the
down
south of the country, the guy in the south of the screen, Money Mike, aka Hungry Ghost, and that will be the moniker that we have a release under, Hungry Ghost. So Mike's got a song coming out on Friday. Which Friday is always release day. It's always release day. Mike, do you want to even, you can let us know how this all started a little bit, let people know what they're in for, and then how we ended up working together on this, I suppose.
Yeah, so It's actually crazy. I was talking to I don't even know if I told you this bit about this song, Stu, but Ryan O'Neill that works in OES Center. He dropped a comment there just because I've been doing some promo lately on Facebook and Instagram and stuff about the new single coming out. And he says, you know, I can't wait to hear it or whatever. And I said to him, he actually has a lot more to do with this track than he probably realizes, because like it started with like a stupid little drum loop and guitar loop that I had made just, but it was like after we would sort of have like chats in the office and stuff, and the band that me and Stu had been in before, B Button, had been done for a while now, and I was sort of just saying to him about, you know, not really having the confidence to do like music on my own sort of thing. You know, I always felt comfortable in the band atmosphere and stuff, and like I contributed in B Button, but I never had to like create a whole song from scratch, the whole structure, everything. I didn't consider myself a vocalist or a lyric writer or anything else. I would do little riffies here or there, and you guys would help place them where they sounded right to make up the whole song and stuff. And Ryan, if anybody knows him, is just like a really super positive guy, and he plays in a band called Dutch Schultz, which put out an album there a little while ago, and it's absolutely incredible. They've done loads of shit, like they've toured and everything, and really really cool band. And he just sort of said the same thing, you know, that you know, he loves playing in a band and stuff, but yet he would still try and push himself to work on music on his own and stuff. And I can't remember everything that he said, but whatever it was kind of like a, I don't even think he's seen it that way, but it was kind of like a little bit of a pep talk and stuff, and it got me kind of amped up to go home again. And like I think it was over maybe about 2 weeks or whatever, I started fiddling about with stuff, but as you do, you kind of like, you know, you lose interest with it, or you don't think it's really going anywhere or anything. And then I like sat on the computer for ages, but like more recently there, sort of last year in the summer, I went back to it again, and I started feeling like I was getting somewhere with it. And whenever it really started coming together was whenever me and Stu kind of found out like a really good way, because we both use Mixcraft as a DAW, basically because I didn't know what I was doing whenever it came to like mixing and stuff, and I'm always learning from Stu really. So I had Mixcraft as well, and then we cracked a way to actually send full projects back and forth. So we were able to start with lockdown, because we weren't really seeing each other that much. I mean, we see each other every week in the podcast, and it's great that we had that through lockdown and stuff. But we were able to then kind of start, I was able to send you the demo over and stuff. And you had the full project there where it wasn't condensed down, it wasn't bounced out or anything, so you could like muck about with structure and stuff. And you really got it into shape in a crazy way where it became something so much more than I ever thought it could be like. But I really think like you gave it its genre as well, which is like, I've let a couple of people hear it. There's been a couple of early streams I've sent out to people and stuff, and it does kind of very much sit in that kind of like new pop punk sort of era that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I tried to make it a part of that for sure.
Which
I wanted to be in the conversation of Trippie Redd and Machine Gun Kelly type things.
But it's super super cool, and like I was so happy with it whenever you sent back like that early mix and stuff. But yeah, so it kind of went on from there where you gave me this early mix where it was pretty much there, and we were still kind of toying about with stuff. But then I was like, it took me so long. Like, I'm friggin' 35 now. I've never put out a song by myself before. I've always done stuff in the band. So like, you know, if you're counting on the next single, you know, you're talking about another 30 odd years. I'll be like walking around in Zimmer frame. So I'm like, I'm going to fucking do this right. So my girlfriend Jade and I were talking about like we should try and do some sort of video or whatever. And we were bouncing about concepts and stuff. And as self-deprecating as I am, I was like, you know, I would love to do a video because I really love the idea of like a mini movie, because everybody knows I'm like massively into movies, big movie dork and all as well. And in previous episodes I've went on about friggin' color grading and stuff, as sad as I am, but it's like I really like the idea of like editing like a little tiny small story. But I don't want my face to be in it in any way. So you were like right away. I've had that Hungry Ghost Insta tag for years. It wasn't for anything per se, but you're like, that sounds like an artist name right there. You should use that. So okay, boom, artist name is there, and then Jade came up with this cool idea. It's like, you want a low budget video, you're using Hungry Ghost as the name, just friggin' stick a sheet on your head and let's go out and shoot a video. So we like came up with this idea that's like just a little mini story or whatever. But we shot the video, but that was like way back in October, and you were still working on the song, bits and pieces, sending it back and forth and stuff. But the thing that wasn't going to change was the length of the song, at least. So I was able to kind of work out the video to that and edit it to that. But yeah, we basically, we went around like local forest parks and stuff around where I live. And it was like literally, I think, the week of Halloween. And so I was like up at Scrabble Tower, and I had the sheet dressed up as a ghost. And there was like families walking through through the park and stuff. And at first I felt like such a dick. But then it was kind of fun and funny because like the families were walking through the park and the parents were like winding up their kids. They're like, "Oh, look, there's a ghost," and stuff. And they're like, "Ah, no way." And they're like all running away and stuff. And it was actually quite funny. But yeah, we like shot all that footage and stuff, and it was really fun. And I've got like a whole video and stuff to put up, and it's going up on Friday. We just put up the link there. It's in my bio on Instagram. It's on the Your Spaceship YouTube page, which if anybody's watching the show, they'll be on it now, but you can hit the bell and you can be ready to watch the video whenever it comes out. It's lunchtime on Friday. I'm putting it out. So, but yeah, that's kind of...
It's exciting, man. It's very exciting.
Yeah, that's
And
pretty cool.
I had a lot of fun working on it too. It was good. I get to like, I suppose I put some of those elements in my music a little bit, but not so much. And then I was like, here's a good excuse to like play
Just go
a bunch
full
of
in.
like emo punk pop guitars on things. So that's what I did.
Well, John Andrews compared it to Boxcar Racer, and I was like, "Oh man, I love you so much. If
Yeah,
you knew
man,
how
that's-
much that meant to me."
Well, that's I mean the song that I hit the closest to something like that on my stuff was Past, which was on the Sad Boy EP, and I really was aiming for something like Boxcar Racer esque, but I was just like, yeah, I need to bring some of that to this song. I just felt like we should, because we always loved that genre of music, and it's cool because we were both working on it together. So yeah, it's awesome to play all those instruments on it and produce it. Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it coming out a couple of days, and then like
I'm
I said,
currently, as we speak, I'm currently uploading it to the BBC uploader. But so a couple of problematic things with this. One, Stu, you upgraded your PC in the middle of us all doing this, so we lost access to the project files, so we couldn't censor it to upload it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going up with swears, which I don't care, because the funny thing is I'm uploading it to BBC Uploader now, and I've filled out these forms so many times for like creating a new artist for them. I've done it for B Button, I've done it for you, I've done it for Cosmic Crows. I think I done it for Adam, for Sasha maybe. I'm tired of filling out these forms, so I've filled it out in such a trolly way. It's not serious whatsoever.
That's good though.
I'm currently throwing it up on my Instagram, if anybody wants to check that out. But
Amazing.
yeah, I don't think it'll get played because there's at least 3 or 4 swears at the end, which we weren't able to take out. But
No,
at least I hope that the guys that ATL will have a listen and at least enjoy it.
they could
As
play
long
it
as
and
they
cut
know
it
that
off
it
early. Yeah.
play it in their cars. As long as they know it exists.
Like, well, yeah. I mean, they could play it. They could do it in that section of
Yeah,
the show
just-
that's just snippets of songs as well if they wanted to. But we'll see. It's not the be all and end all because there's couple of swears in there. Oh no, a swear. Oh, my ears. Grow up, everyone. Grow up, little kids in the car. You need to hear this stuff. You need to hear this. Just get it into you early. So we got that on Friday under the Year Spaceship banner. And then the 7th of May, I will be releasing a one-off project similar to what I did previously. One day only, Bandcamp Friday. It's gonna be, I haven't actually announced it yet, so I'll not do it here, but it's one to pay attention to, because I'll only put it up once, and it's gonna include some of the older songs, some of the new songs off the Good Boy EP, which is coming out later in May. It's finished, finally, officially done. Finished it last night. Happy with everything, all the masters, everything's good. It's going up, and the only reason it's coming out later in the month is so that I have a chance to try and get it on some playlists and do a little bit of promotion for it. So you'll be hearing some of that stuff very soon. But if you want this early listen to the songs, then you need to check out what I'm gonna be releasing on Bandcamp next Friday. I think it is next Friday, 7th of May. Yeah, it is. So I say some older Sad Boy songs, some of the Good Boy songs, some other stuff in there. You'll get it all for one purchase. And the whole point is because I wish it was for something more music related, but I'm buying out my car in the month of May, so I'm like trying to get some extra cash for that. So just know that you're donating to Don Maple's car fund whenever you buy this one-off exclusive release. And then if you don't have the money, don't worry, you're gonna hear Good Boy later this month, or not this month, next month. You'll see a release date for that very soon, and I'm excited to let you guys hear it. It took a little longer. I had a lot of computer issues, definitely, and my brother very, very nicely here for my birthday helped upgrade my computer. Desperately needed it, so it meant I was able to finish working on these projects a lot easier without everything crashing all the time. It's too many plugins. I just crash the thing constantly. And I think it's bad because I'm pretty sure I almost crashed it the other day because I'm just going like, I feel way too free now. I'm letting
just trying
loose,
shit you've never
never
would have tried
I'm
before.
like pushing plugins to limits that they should have never been pushed to before. And well, it made me finish this thing faster, so I'm excited for you guys to hear it. It's funny, like, not here to explain my work to you exactly, but in a weird backwards type deal, Sad Boy is probably the more positive EP that I released, and Good Boy's probably a bit more negative. Really, the whole sort of vibe of this thing is just because you think everything looks good on the surface, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is. And it's so easy to slip back into old bad habits and depression and vices that may get you through those things. So that's kind of what it's about. Only over 3 tracks, but that's the only guy giving you full conceptual based small length EPs, little movies, if you will.
What if somebody was happily depressed? Would that not be a really cool genre to get into?
I'm happy depressed. I think that might be me, though. I think that might be me.
Happy sad is very much a thing.
Happy
The
sad.
Cure have done it for years.
That is true. I am thinking that maybe I'll just do it for this project, maybe my next one. But I do want to try promoting like Kanye West at a certain point, and just be like,
Have a breakdown.
no, well, just be like, well, everybody needs to understand that on this music scene or any music scene, look, nobody releases music like Don Maple. You're not gonna hear this shit anywhere else. Nobody's making music like this. That's all I'm saying. All right. It's like everybody else You don't stand a chance at competing with my EP. I'm gonna go work for
You just need to break
Forever
into
20.
NI Music Prize one year and just steal the microphone off somebody.
Just be going up and be like, God, I don't even know. Be like, why can I not think of anybody at this moment in time? Sarah McCready, she's in the comments. Sarah McCready wins an NI Music Prize, and I'll be like, okay, Sarah, I'm gonna let you finish. But I'm just saying, the Good Boy EP was the best EP of all time. Yeah, that won't be me. No, I won't be there because I won't be invited. Right? God. Oh, Sean McCann says, I'll get you a free ticket if you do that. Look, man, I'll do it. And I think everybody
Don't even challenge him. He'll do it.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm too nice a guy, man. It's not gonna happen. Oh, Sarah, that makes no sense for reasons I won't disclose. Yeah, that's a little clue. That's a little clue to the Good Boy EP that might contain numerous features. Yeah, which is cool because this is just everybody just be dipping your toe in the water with my features. I got more coming on the full length EP, which is still it's a work in progress. Like it's getting there. I really thought it would have been out sooner, folks, but you know it's probably we're probably talking like third quarter this year, something like before I get that thing out. But it's good. I like it so far. I think it's really good. And some of the songs that are on that thing have already been on the Sad Boy EP and will be on the Good Boy EP. So it's kind of like you're getting these little samples before you get the full album, you know. But I think that's mostly all I got for this week. Do you guys have any shout-outs or anything that you want to do? I didn't do a full shout-out segment because I feel like we're running a little long here.
Yeah, I think Well, go ahead, Andy. I think I'm going to save my stuff for next week because there was just too much. I was saying before the show, I'd rather prep because there seems like so many new music releases were announced in the past week.
There's a lot of new stuff coming out, which is why I think we need to we had a lot to talk about tonight, so it's kind of like let's dedicate more time to those things.
You know what we should point out, though? We have QUINCIDENTAL as track of the day.
We do indeed. I can roll the banner right now. There it is, down the bottom of your screen. Song of the... Well, I wrote Song of the Week.
Yeah, well,
technically it will be Song of the Week, but we say Song of the Day, and it's QUINCIDENTAL, War on My Turf. And we really like that. We really like that song. We really do. Oh, sorry. I thought I had a problem with my banners on the screen there. Of course, I was like, don't use any more tools, Stuart. Don't use any more tools. Yeah, so he's track of the day. He is on Distant Sound Waves playlist, which, once again, I'm telling everybody, you go there, you follow it, check it out. There's so many songs on there at the minute. There was, like, American Guinea Pig, QUINCIDENTAL, some DMX in there. I can't even remember what else, man. I'm bad at remembering it, but it's a good darn playlist. There's a guy called Jordan, and he has 2 N's at the end of his name. What is there not to enjoy about that? So go check out Distant Sound Waves. But that's all we got for this week, folks. We'll catch up with you next week. We're gonna put out a big question.
What? Yeah, you didn't.
He just skips past shit, doesn't he? He just rambles on and forgets what's going on.
He thinks he's at the NI Music Prize now. He's cutting you off.
Look, I'm gonna let you finish.
But I just want y'all to know the Dom Maples EP was
Best
the greatest
EP of all time, my friend. Greatest EP of all time. Nobody does it like Don.
Just want to say just Leo Miyagi finally broke his little silence.
I seen that. Yeah, he's chomping at the bit to get something out, and it looks like it's gonna be.
He's been chomping since last September. He's been in the. There you go.
Leo Miyagi.
That might be the new sign whenever we hear Leo Miyagi's name mentioned.
When did you get the Metal Gear Solid?
Just for this episode. just for this episode in time. So we'll be like the minute Andy mentions Leo, I'll just be like,
He's been cooking something up for the past 8 months, so I'm excited to hear what it sounds like. I seen on his Instagram post just so.
I
It'd be
did see a
great.
post, but I was looking at it right before he came on here, so I didn't get a chance to read it.
That's my flavor. Leo's my hip hop flavor. So if he comes out with something cool, something I'd like to hear some. It's probably not going to happen, but I'd like to hear some like Derringer beats. I know nobody knows who that is because everybody only pays attention to hip hop when Kendrick comes out. But it's like the Griselda beat type thing. I'd love to hear him on that type of stuff, but I don't think it'll be that. I think it'll be his easy vibe type of stuff. I'm just interested, but I would love to hear him on like, God, Leo on a drill beat or old school hip hop something. That'd be awesome. But yeah, now he's just piqued my interest again, so I'm like, ooh, here we go.
Yeah, we go back there. I know it's been a while since we've had a Leo alert, so
Yeah, I'd love to hear him again. It'd be great.
You all done? I said I'll let you finish, so. Y'all good?
I started, so I'll finish.
Started, so I'll finish. Right, okay.
I have no projects coming out. I've been trying to be
project.
creative for 30 years and nothing's happened so far.
You gotta follow Nandez.ttv on Twitch TV. That's what it stands for, at Nandez. You can catch all of us next week for another episode of Six Set Bro. But if you can't wait, you can go watch Andy on Twitch whenever. He's always on there. If you follow his Twitter, you'll know when he's streaming. You know.
Twitter, Instagram, everything.
We'll see y'all next week. Big question. Keep an eye out for it. And good boy EP, best EP of all time.
I just dropped my lid. Fuck it.